Hi, welcome to Oops the Podcast. I'm Francis Ellis, joined by Giulio Gallerati.
What's up? What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good, and today we've got only Ryan here.
We have only Ryan here.
Yo.
Chris is in Italy, living his best life.
Wow, he loves it over there.
He sure does. Well, guys, we have some, sad news for you. As it is, with some changes that are sort of out of our control and that are not necessarily because of anything that we've done. The podcast will not be at Barstool any longer, and Francis will not be able to join the pod when it becomes independent again. That's sort of the, easiest way to say it. Nobody's happy about this. We feel sad.
Yeah.
I am depressed in a way that I potentially haven't been in many years.
Oh no.
I can't wait to go to sleep, and I don't want to get up in the morning.
Oh God.
And, I just really ask you guys during this really tough time, it would mean so much to the podcast if you would keep riding with us.
Yeah.
Ryan and I will be the sort of lone remaining soldiers. Chris is moving on to greener pastures. And we're really proud of him. We've really made him into a force in
Fine
the
young
creative
man.
field. And he's an incredible young guy. And we're really excited for his future. I promise you guys that I can deliver a quality product still. Hopefully when Francis has time, we'll be able to bring him into the pod. And I can speak for you in this capacity, and you can confirm this, but Francis was put in a very tough position where he had to choose between his job or not. And there's no way for you not to choose your job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
I want to say that right, because I want people to understand.
Right. In order for me to have continued to do Oops the Podcast, I would have needed to leave my job.
Right.
Was kind of the way that I understood it.
Right.
The two things that, and I, that makes sense. Barstool is a massive podcast network, and if they all of a sudden said that people could do independent podcasts and make revenue on the side, I think that just, they like to keep everything in house. So
Totally.
that makes sense to me.
Totally. Our pod also sort of functioned in a unique way. And I know that they've had some changes here with some of the leadership, and they're kind of doing the whole big company thing where they're, redoing it and trying to make it as oiled and profitable as possible. So we certainly understand. And it's interesting to be in a situation like this where there's nobody to be upset at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of the way.
It's kind of weird.
It's the beauty of how they set it up. They really insulate. Companies insulate themselves well from people who kind of get a shitty end of the stick. There's no one for us to turn to, even if I wanted to be erratic, which I don't intend to be. You know what I mean, for a variety of reasons. But I wouldn't even know who to go do it to.
Yeah.
Be erratic too.
Yeah, I would say that if anything, and I would say that our experience here at Barstool has been a very positive one. I think we found a lot of support in the various people that have worked to sell our podcast, to coach us how to come into the system, and we were featured a lot on the big accounts and things like that. So I don't know. I would say I appreciate guys like Brandon and Patrick and some of those guys and all the efforts they made on our behalf.
Agreed. It's been nice working with everybody here on my end, because you're going to keep working with those guys theoretically. Everybody's been nice and supportive, and made a lot of friends here who I intend to keep. All good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I would also add, Julio made a great point, which is that the pod lives on, and what I think was so beautiful about our podcast is that each person that was part of our 4-man team was absolutely vital and intrinsic, and by another turn, the pod can exist without each member theoretically. Today we don't have Chris. We've never really done any episodes where either Giulio or I were missing. There was one episode we did where G missed.
I had to go to a funeral, and it was when we had Tom Segura.
We had Tom Segura on, so a worthy stand-in. But With that said, I don't think that any one person is bigger than the pod, or that the pod comes undone without me, or any one of us. And I'm excited for the next iteration of it, and that it will continue on, and that it will be familiar, and that the people, all of you who have come to love this podcast over the whatever 4 odd years that we've been doing it, will continue to have it. I presume on the same
Same
schedule.
schedule. And, like, and also, this is a big transitional kind of like moment for me. I'm pretty confident that this is going to work out and it's going to be solid. And I think you guys will all enjoy listening still and all that stuff. But yeah, this is my lifeblood. I need it to work. So I appreciate you guys if you ride with me into the sunset.
Hell yeah. I suspect they will. It's been an amazing kind of we found this out a little over a week ago, maybe. I can't remember exactly. No, because you went away, so maybe we've known it for a little bit. And in that time, I've been on the road, and there is a bittersweet, sad, karmic flower that is in this moment of knowing that my role on the pod is not to continue. Everybody that I've has come up to me has been like, I listen to Oops the podcast every single episode. It got me through quarantine. It is my companion in the mornings. I do it while I work out. My boyfriend and I listen to it. My husband and I, my wife and I, we long road trips. It's as though I've gotten more compliments about the podcast, and more people professing towards their steadfast loyalty since we found out, which just it just is a real kick in the organs in a way, and very sad. But again, I think that if we look back, we have had such an amazing run. These are things we've voiced. We outlasted, I would guess, 99% of podcasts. We had a 4 and 3 month year run, maybe long.
And counting.
Yeah,
Forget.
400 plus episodes. Never missed a single episode over that time. Week in, week out, at least 2 episodes a week, fresh episodes. Never had to never released a rerun, never skipped a week. There was a complete commitment from this team, and it was matched only by our beloved audience. And it's meant the world to me. It got me through a really challenging time, and we've come to know each other all so well, and it's been a real bright spot in a world of inconsistency, in an industry that is really unreliable. I think our jobs are pretty unreliable. We don't know what's going to be one week to the next. You don't get 6-month severances to figure out your next move in what we do. So yeah, for my part, mixed emotions certainly, but very excited to see you guys carry the torch forward, and I know the pod is in good hands and in a really good spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's funny. Like going through all. So Francis told me about this when I was away, which I'm sure you were conflicted about. You're like, do
I
I tell
didn't
him
want
on?
to.
Do I tell him on vacation?
I talked to Sierra about it, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I can, in good conscience, wait until you get home,
Yeah.
because I didn't want I wanted you to have all the information to
Yeah.
decide
Yeah.
about,
I know. I
like.
know. I agreed, and I think it was the right move. It sucked, but it was funny because this is like a proper tragedy. Because if you think about it, like, oh no, I'll tell you why. No, it's a proper tragedy because like you hear about something terrible happens, right? You're sad, you're bummed out, right? But then the next day you're like, you know what? Like it's okay. Like da da da, and it's like, and it comes in like waves. You're around people, you feel okay, then you're alone, you feel terrible, and it's like up and down, up and down. And it's extra complicated here because there's a variety of things. The first thing I think about is like, oh God, like I can't afford my life without a podcast. Period. So I need to figure that out. So the week I get back from my trip, which was a wedding, so it was a vacation. I needed to be there though, you know what I mean? So we turned it into a vacation. I was on the road and I'm bouncing city to city to city, and I'm just in my hotel room trying to like lay the groundwork to make this have no drop. I want to make sure that the second we're done here, the next week, right on the same schedule, right? So doing that, working crazy, and I'm not even like thinking about the sentimental side of it. I'm just thinking about survival. I'm like, okay, we're going to get it there. We're going to get it there. Oh, it looks like we're going to get it there. And then it's like, oh, but wait, now it's just not, and it's not going to be exactly the same. And that's sad. And like, I'm going to miss Francis. I'm going to miss doing this. Dude, I told somebody after my show who had shared something with me that was like personal. So I felt the need to be like, well, you know, while we're at it, your day's not getting any better. No, I didn't think it was going to go like that, but dude, she cried when I told her.
Oh no.
I know. And I was like, wow, like I feel that way too. That's really fucking sad. So, you know, we can talk about how great it's been and how positive it's going to be and all that stuff, but it still sucks, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be a downer. You know what I mean? I know I'm typically a pretty positive guy, but like, it's just hard. It's been hard, dude. I'm trying to like come to terms with it all, and I will, and it'll be fine. And I think that this will be a special moment in my life, and hopefully yours too.
Yeah, I didn't know that you had you were pretty positive, and as you put it, which is I've been there too, like survival mode. Don't have a choice. Don't have the luxury of reckoning with the emotional side of this right now. So I had not seen or heard that, you know, I didn't realize, because I was really sad right when we got the news.
Mm-hmm.
I went through that then. But I think that, you know, I truly believe that as far as there are some things we can count on. One is the continuity of our relationship. I still intend to call you almost daily. I feel bad that I wasn't that responsive yesterday. I was out for a long day on the old golf course, where I like to leave my phone because I'm preparing for a big golf thing. But you know, you're like, if we were to just fade away from each other, that would be to me the ultimate tragedy, at least from my standpoint.
Yeah, no, dude. I've agreed. Like, I don't see any reason for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, Francis and I are pals. That's part of why this podcast works so well and is so easy to do for so many years.
Mm.
You know, I can't help but I'm trying not to do this, but like it's funny to me that like the podcast was born out of you know, your firing from here, like Barstool just like kicking our ass. It's hard not to acknowledge that. It's just hard not to acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like, we're just getting canned left and right in cold blood. And, you know, maybe we deserve it sometimes. Maybe we don't deserve it sometimes. I don't fucking know, dude. But yeah, so like, it's hard not to just like look at that logo and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, just keeping it completely real. I don't think I'm saying anything bad or
No,
controversial.
I think that's
I'm not
totally
bagging
fair.
on the brand. You know, it's an incredible place here, and they've done some incredible things. But it's hard not to be like, oh, I'll show you guys. You know, oh, you don't want our pod?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
It's hard not to feel that way. So, you know, and I don't like negative motivation. So that kind of stuff's kind of fleeting for me.
That's
and,
good.
And if it were to go really well for me independently, I would hold no sort of I told you. I'm just not like that.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I should be more like that. I don't know who the fuck knows.
No, I get it.
So there's that, and dude, I'll say this too. Can I add something? Mm-hmm. So Hill Dog is out of town for work, and so I'm alone in my apartment, which is not helping, to be honest. And I've been watching a lot of Frozen Planet 2 has come out. It's a wonderful program that I recommend watching. Very, very good. And as the years have gone on, and global warming has sort of intensified, the episodes become more and more grim for a vast majority of the episode itself. So, and it's this really brutal thing because, you know, I'm having a tough time. I'm gonna be honest. I'm having a tough time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch some stuff, and it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna love it. And then it's like, and every step of the show is the most tragic thing you've ever seen in your life. It's like, uh, the lion is trying to hunt. They're like, the lion will probably starve and die. But if it does kill something and eat it, it's killing someone's child. The lion kills someone's child and eats the child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, unfortunately, that child may not be able to survive the winter because there's no ice for it to live on, and therefore all the children are going to die, and then the entire species is going to die, and then you're going to die too. You're going to die too. The coasts of the cities you live in will be underwater very soon, potentially in your lifetime. You're all going to die. And then I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, what a fucking terrible, dark hole.
The fact that you are in a moment of, not having Hill Dog around and dealing with this major upheaval in our professional life, you are treating it with deteriorating climate science documentaries is so, I mean, I would be watching The Office, or like, I need some kind of palliative to make myself feel better. And you're like, let's just lean into it.
I didn't realize that it was gonna like compound as like this sad thing. I just thought, oh wow, I love nature, you know what I mean? But like the message is becoming more and more. And dude, okay, what about this? They show this walrus who's trying, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's some kind of walrus. It's trying to, mate. And it does this thing where it blows a big bubble, a sack. It's like this pink sack, and it tries to court females. So in the beginning of the episode, it shows the walrus doing this, and he gets rejected. The female doesn't want him, and he's just alone, and that's it. Later in the episode, we come back to him because some fucking predator is hunting him. A killer whale. A killer whale does this thing where they swim underneath the ice, and they bash their tail, and it creates a wave that knocks the animal off the ice, and then they eat it.
Oh.
So it's like, dude, this
awesome.
poor guy. Like, not only is he single forever is not going to be much longer.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, This is brutal. This is tough nature. And I guess part of it's like motivating, because it's like, no one gives a shit, dude.
No.
No one gives a shit about you. And maybe that's what puts humans above animals a bit, is that we have some sort of compassion to some degree, hopefully, which makes it so that we don't just walk in and, rape and pillage and steal and feed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We don't only act in the interest of our own survival.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, all right, well, listen, like, this is my keep the climate below 1.5 degrees Celsius raise moment.
Wow.
So
I'm
going to try to turn my attitude around.
Well, what we'll do is we'll go out for a drink.
Yeah.
We'll get some spaniels.
That would be good.
We'll fire up some spaniels, and that'll just, I think, there's a great, I was reading a post about the healing power of a bender. And it's, I know it's total false science. It's just this bullshit kind of literary romantic idea that somehow saddling up to a dark barkeep, whiskey, and keep them coming.
Let me get the Barstool Pat special.
Yeah,
Shot
keep
in
them
the
coming.
beer, brother.
And 4 drinks in, you're ranting and you're complaining.
You're singing.
Yeah, to anybody that's willing to listen about your plight and. Let me get that guy a drink. Hey, get him a drink.
Shots on me.
Yeah. And that somehow you emerge from that healed, cleansed, renewed. I don't know. There may be something in that you can find a rock bottom at the bottom of a bottle and try from there to swim your way out of it. But I don't know. I also don't think we necessarily need to go to those steps.
Well, dude, I tried this method actually. So Saturday night, I was going home. I had a spot. Weird show, by the way. Shout out to this guy, Chris Connell. He does a show where the audience is encouraged to heckle you the entire show, which is an interesting experimental thing. I certainly was not good at it. I just was sort of overwhelmed. But
they were doing it.
But it was sort of like nice, which makes it harder. Like they're all joking. So like it makes it harder to, I don't know. I found it difficult. I'm sure that
Mm.
there's people who are very good at it. I'm going home and I get a text from Zach, who's the guy who travels with me, not manager Zach, camera guy Zach. I paid him a little extra to do professional color on the video. He's a professional colorist.
Nice.
Dude, it looks fucking sick. So anyway, he's like, what are you up to? He came over and we ended up watching some of it. And it was so sick to see it look so sick. I was like really happy. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is fucking. I was like pausing it to hug him occasionally.
Wow.
It just looks fucking sick. So I'm so psyched. Middle of July, that's coming out, by the way. It will be on the Oops channel too. And dude, then I wake up in the morning, hungover, feeling like shit. And it's funny, to your point, I'm like, fuck. And like, it was that hangover where you have anxiety,
Yeah.
where like you don't know what to do with yourself, da da da.
Yeah.
So I ordered paella.
Ooh.
I ate it. It was delicious.
Interesting.
And then like 2.5 hours later, I ordered more food. I ordered like pad thai or something. It was just like an insane day. I eat the pad thai and I fall asleep like soon after. And I woke up feeling so shitty, dude, that I might as well just be like, I felt so terrible. And I think that was my rock bottom moment. It was like this feeling, there's nothing you could do to relieve yourself. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to like sip ginger ale. I don't know if this even fucking works.
You were nauseous?
I felt, yeah, just like
Stomach pains?
pain, like sharp pains.
Yeah.
Which honestly, dude, eating a lot and going to bed, I don't know if everybody has this problem. That is a big problem. Is it for you?
In that you don't sleep?
I don't
or...
digest
Yeah,
properly. Or
no,
something
no.
happens where nothing happens to the food.
I am pretty good about eating as early as possible in the night and then not grazing after that.
That's good.
We typically have dinner. We start to eat dinner at about 7:00. Yeah.
That's a good time.
7's nice, and then dinner's done, clean up dinner. By 9 at the latest, I have a popsicle. And I suck those puppies down. I've been sucking these popsicles down.
The old 9 p.m. popsicle.
The old 9. And if it's later than 9, I don't let myself have the popsicle. So we're having our popsicles by 8:30, 8:45. We're having the popsicles.
That's a really good model.
Yeah, and after 9 o'clock, because I don't want sugar and I don't want to be digesting after 9 o'clock. I don't want that. I don't want it.
No, it's good for you to have a few hours where you're very awake, where there's no food going into you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I had such a rough morning that I took like a 5 p.m. nap. I fell asleep after the pad thai at like 5 p.m. and woke up at 7, still exhausted and with like sharp pains.
Yeah, that's disorienting.
Here's another good one. Don't eat 2 full meals within an hour and a half of each other.
of paella and pad thai.
Yeah.
Just
insane.
ethnic starch food. Just full starch-based,
oily
pastas and rice dishes.
Yeah, dude. Insane.
I haven't had paella. That's crazy.
Insane.
I would have done maybe a paella, and then the next meal is gonna be like an acai bowl. I need something on the other end of that spectrum.
An acai bowl is a nice hangover late breakfast item.
Doesn't have to be healthy. I'm not saying you need to get a salad for the second meal, but that shrimp on the first dish really made me think it'd be nice in another dish from Thailand. Pad thai.
Dude, crazy.
So, okay. Did you go to bed? What time did you go to bed that night?
Probably 10:30.
Wow. Good for you.
Maybe even 10.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, and I had an okay day on Monday. Dude, no better way to take her home than sucking on a couple hangobies.
The last hangobi on the pod for me, maybe.
My favorite, this is probably my favorite right now, the Calm. I know Francis has to be careful drinking it too hard during the day because it'll put him to sleep. Give him a little nappy.
I'll be falling asleep in a meadow.
There's some melatonin in one of these ingredients.
The tart cherry has it.
The tart cherry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really a delicious drink. Each hangobi tastes completely different and really serve their own purpose. It's almost as if they're like 3 of their own brands within one brand. Yeah. It's been really cool to see the brand mature and spread like wildfire. It's in over 500 stores, and they are continuing to spread. If you see one on the shelf, grab one. But you can also go online right now and go to hangobi.com. Use promo code OOPSI'mHung, 30% off of your order. Throw it over a giant ice cube, mix it with your favorite alcohol. It's a versatile drink that also has utility. We love it, and we think you will too. So check it out. Hangobi.com. Actually, but I had the dentist, dude. I'll tell you what. I have a
You
new.
went back
Yeah, I have a
to
new
the dentist?
Yeah, I have a new outlook on the dentist. I need to go for a deep gum cleaning, which I believe. There were some my gums have been sensitive, and I was like, okay, this isn't just like a scam. So I go in and I've accepted my fate. I'm going to the dentist. Don't overthink it. It's gonna be fine. This is a first world luxury. This is anytime I go to places where there's less money and whatever, like dental work is like the first thing that typically stands out to me as the thing that they don't have as much of. So I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I get the deep gum cleaning. He did like a topical anesthetic. It is a little painful in theory. And he finds out I'm a comedian and he starts pausing to tell me stories.
Oh no.
And it's okay. The story's okay, but I feel the anesthesia wearing off. And I'm like, oh no, dude. Like, I start sweating. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I hope he just, and he's a very nice guy. He's this Persian guy. And he's like, do you know, I can't do the like accent, but it's such a distinct accent. Like, person from Iran, the way they talk. And he's talking about Maximini and Maz Jobrani he's like, if you talk about me, he's like, say I was gentle. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I got him going a little bit, which is good. And then he gave me a discount. And I wonder, he goes, your work is difficult. It's a tough job. And then I believe he gave me a discount because he found out maybe that I'm a comedian or something.
Dude, this is
So
where,
shout out to this guy.
this is kind of what I'm talking about. Dentists, veterinarians, auto mechanics, these people, they operate in a world of like, the customer has no idea what I'm doing.
They got you by the balls.
They have no idea. I could put a line item on here in another language, and there's a good chance they're not even going to look at it. If they do, I could make anything up. I don't feel that way about doctors. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like doctors, I have a conversation with them. If they say you need to do this, I trust them. I trust them. Whereas our what we started doing with the vet is both of the dogs get the same problem at the same time. They both have eye infections right now.
They've given them to each other?
I don't know if they gave them to each other or the fact that they sniffed the same thing or whatever. But we bring one dog to the vet, we get the medicine for that dog, and then we give that medicine to both dogs.
Do you have doggy benefits with your Barstool Healthcare?
No.
Come on,
we
guy,
have
Barstool.
dog insurance. We have pet insurance, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't cover anything. And you always remember that typically the cost of a new dog is less than whatever big procedure we're going to have to do.
So is this eye medicine expensive?
Every visit, they do a fucking checkup. If you bring your dog in for some kind of issue, they're like, we're basically going to do a physical.
And you're going to pay for it.
And you know what that physical consists of?
All right, read the letters.
They like lift the leg, they lift another leg, quick pat, okay, dog's okay. It's that cursory. I'm tired.
How much are we talking?
That'll be $200. $175. Bro, vets are fucking out of line. Out of line. And I don't know, man. I get a vet who deals with horses. I think they are earning their keep. Horses are a machine, and you need your machine to run right. But a dog, I don't know. A lot of the time, I just think these vets are just jerking my chain.
Stuff, dude. Stuff.
Not really trusting the vets lately. But
they ain't cheap.
Dentist, I'm glad you said deep gum cleaning. I felt like I did. That made sense to me.
Yeah, deep gum cleaning. And he goes, your gums are going to feel better. And they do. They do. They feel really nice.
Wow.
They feel really nice today. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to taking I feel like the fact that I've taken a hold of my dental health at this point in my life before it was too late is a good sign.
Yeah.
We can save the planet. And I can. It is still possible that we can save the planet. And I can continue the pod. And I have a fun thing, Francis. I've been thinking about the new logo. and it's not done yet. But there's going to be a special homage to you in it that
Oh.
you'll be able to see probably pretty easily once you know it's there. But
I don't want to have you reveal more than you're ready to, but are you planning? What is you want to give away? Talk about the format at all?
yeah, we don't have to get into too much detail about it yet.
Okay.
I don't want to like have an incredible idea in the next few days and have it change.
Yeah.
Just know that it'll be palatable and
Familiar.
and
Yeah.
it's not going to feel like a big change. You know
No.
what I mean? At one point, we were joking around that we were trying to find a loophole where Francis would just be a guest on every single episode.
Every single episode. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast with Julio.
And our favorite guest,
Today's guest,
Francis Ellis.
Francis Ellis.
Francis, how are you?
Well, thanks for having me. I didn't expect to be here, but here we are.
Dude, but it's funny, yeah. To your point about the vets and even specialized sort of like caregivers or whatever. Your dog has to eat quail egg, half a quail egg only, or it'll die. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
this specific diet is like absurd. You know what I mean? Pheasant.
Yeah.
Game pheasant bone shards. You know what I mean? Whereas, dude, in Italy, the cats eat pasta. Like I said, they just eat pasta. It's not dog pasta. It's just pasta from the table that they have left over.
Right.
And guess what the cat's name is? Cat. The cat's named Cat. I swear to God. My grandmother's cat was named Cat. That was the translation. And that cat lived long. So, whatever. I'm sure we're going to get messages from vets about this.
Which would be good. Cut us a deal.
Dude, this is another funny random thing. My dad. So have I talked about this on the pod yet? My dad is 69 years old. Have I talked about this on the pod?
No.
Okay, so if you Google my name, there's some sort of like AI fusion of my and my dad's information. So it comes up that I'm 69 years old, and people think that I'm being funny. I've gotten like did you see it? I've gotten like a dozen messages being like, dude, you're 69? And I'm like, no, I didn't like hack Google, dude. Where does it say? Yeah. There's all these pictures of me, and then it says age 69 years.
Is that a Wikipedia? Do you have a Wikipedia?
Do I? Do I have it? Okay. But dude, yeah. So 69 years old, and it's just hilarious that my fucking dad. And dude, speaking of which, my dad is now trying to lean into the fact that, again, stop me if I told you this already, that like he named me my name and that this is an annoying name. So now he's, for the first time in his life, he's acting like his name is so annoying.
Oh.
But like he never said a word about it. But now he calls me the other day out of nowhere. I have no idea where he's going with this. He goes, "Spit on my grave. I'm a motherfucker." I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about, dude? I had no idea where he was going with that. I don't know if he was saying that like he's a badass or something. Like, yeah, I show them. No, but he's saying that he named me my name.
Oh,
and
man.
therefore he's a motherfucker. I'm like, Dad,
As
what are you talking about?
As a setup for a piece of news, "spit on my grave and call me a motherfucker" puts, "hey, do you have a second?" to absolute shame as far as inducing anxiety about what's going to come next.
It is absurd, dude.
That would make me think, if my dad said that to me, I would think he's about to tell me that he's done something truly horrific. Truly horrible.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what's going on, dude?
Boy, gee, you're looking pretty svelte over there. What are you wearing?
This is the Modern Prep short sleeve sweater polo.
Huh.
Perfect for any sort of European journey. If you want to just put your hair back and yell,
You look like you could sit by one of those pools that's made out of rock.
I do look like that.
And it has the sea splashing up and over and into it. Half pool, half sea.
I look exactly like
That's good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, very, ooh.
You're wearing the blended linen tee?
I got the blended linen tee. I love a linen tee. Nice and light for the summer.
Looks really good
It's
on
got
you, bro.
that sweet texture that I love so much.
Good color on you. Express has a ton of versatile, amazing options. Pretty much everything you need for any event. And that can go for, Sunday morning going to get coffee to an entire wedding weekend. You can wear every single thing from Express for that whole weekend and look perfect for it. Definitely get over there and try some out.
Designed for real life versatility in every occasion. 24/7 comfort. premium quality and details.
Really good stuff. They got everything you need, like we said. Polos, the Pima cotton tee is amazing. Also these linen tees. I love this polo and the button-down shirts. They also have suits that are amazing. Express is always running awesome sales, so we are excited to announce that we have code OOPS for 10% off of online that you can use in addition to the deals that Express already has. Head to express.com right now for your summer wardrobe. Well, dude, speaking of volcanoes, I'm one of the nature shows they were talking about, active pools of lava, and I guess there's only a few of them in the world, and I've seen one. I didn't realize that when I was looking at it, it was significant. There's 7 lava pools, exposed lava pools. One of them is in Nicaragua. I happened to go see it.
Wow.
I remember seeing the lava and being like, Jesus.
You saw some bubbling red lava?
Yeah, just red lava. And it was nighttime too, dude. So like you
Wow.
could really only see the red lava. It was sick. That's
That's
my
pretty
little sprinkle.
spooky.
That's my
That
little
might be a
sprinkle.
little spooky for me.
It's a little spooky. It's
little
far enough
spooky.
away.
If you touch that, it just burns your finger right off.
I guess. I don't really know.
If you were to put your hand in there, is it when you pull your hand out, is it gone?
I don't know.
I'll find out.
You know what I mean?
It's a good question, dude.
I'm thinking about in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, when Sméagol falls into the lava, and the ring is coming right after him. He falls in because they throw it in finally, and he disappears under. I can't remember if I thought that his body was just being incinerated almost in real time, melting into liquid or not. It's like molten rock.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you sort of forge steel?
I guess, dude.
Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, how good was that movie when it came out? Holy shit.
All of those
I know.
movies were just unbelievable.
I remember finishing the second one and being like, oh my God, the third one's going to be sick. And then it was.
It was the best one, I think.
Sweet. That's pretty sweet.
That's great.
Dude, okay, I have a good story for you. So we went to Sugarfish for Father's Day. And, my dad came down, whatever. I'd gotten him a couple little gifts, whatever. We go to lunch, little Thai place, great, whatever. They stick around long enough. I showed them some of the Afghanistan stuff. And then they're like, well, why don't we go to dinner? So we go to Sugarfish, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay because it is Father's Day, all good. So I guess I go to pay. Normally, I think my dad would have resisted, but I would have still been able to. But I forgot that the stuff with the podcast is happening. They obviously know about it. They're worried about me. And when I went to try to pay, he was more resistant than typical. So first he starts blocking me. He starts putting his hand up, blocking me. And he gives his card, and I'm like, it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. And the waitress goes, well, it is Father's Day. I then give her, she takes my card. He then grabs her arm. I'm like, Dad, you're assaulting her. Dad, you're assaulting the waitress. You're assaulting her. And he goes, okay. And he grabbed her, dude. I was like, Jesus. And the people next to us are laughing. And, whatever, it ends up being, and she goes, Happy Father's Day. She hands the check back. My dad's very worried. He's like, oh, you don't have a job. I'm like, it's Dad. It's going to be okay. And then the guy sitting next to us goes, aren't you that comedian from the podcast? I'm like, oh, wow, damn, dude.
Yeah.
You saw full Big G moment in action.
Hell
It was
yeah.
a nice little, sometimes when people say it like that, I can't tell if they're downplaying it or if they really just saw me sometime in a clip. Because it's the beauty of the pod. It has good wide reach in that way. You can experience, you can taste us any way you like.
Yeah, a
You know what I'm
little. Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
I'm right on the tip of my tongue.
Right on the tip of your tongue. But yeah, dude, I thought that was pretty funny. But my dad fucking assaulting the waitress, dude. He grabbed her, dude. He grabbed her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I guess it was fine because it was but that is when trying to pay for the check goes too far.
Yeah, probably. Probably so. I don't know that assault is
It's
worth
not the answer.
worth the price of a couple of what are they called? Hungry me's, please me's. What's the menu thing you order at?
Oh, trust me.
Trust me.
Please me.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
the trust
Please
me.
me. Dude, in Iraq, there's because it gets so heated, who's trying to pay for the bill, there's a sign when you walk into restaurants that says everybody is responsible for their own bill.
Wow.
Because fathers are, I'm paying!
Yeah.
Ruining the dinner for everybody else in the restaurant. So it's kind of sweet. But,
Dude, I went to a wedding
oh yeah, in New
in
York.
in New York, which was a really fun experience, getting to sleep at home. And I'll say that I thought being able to just be sleeping at home would make things easier, but because the wedding was so close to where we live, we didn't take the dog, we didn't like bring the dogs to Sierra's mom's place for the weekend. And we just sort of like took them out before we left, had a dog walker, which meant that, and that meant that they were inside longer than they typically are, which meant that the whole time I was at the wedding, I was worried about them,
Mm.
thinking that they thought we'd abandoned them and that, they were sad.
And they're defiantly getting new eye infections to make
Yeah.
you have to pay a large
Rolling
bill.
around in their feces because they couldn't hold it despite whining and begging to be taken out. Just all these nightmare scenarios that I'm going through my head. So that was a tough thing to not relax about. I also had to it was a Friday wedding, so I had to work on Friday, and that meant I was pretty much rushing from work to go home to take the dogs out, get Ruby from daycare, and then put on a tuxedo, which I hadn't done in a long time. And then I checked to take an Uber to the beautiful Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, which is where it was.
Mm.
And at that point, to take an Uber, it was bad traffic, it was going to take 35 minutes, and I had to get there faster. So I decided to city bike in a fucking tux
Dude,
and
I saw
patent
the
leather
video, so
shoes.
Crazy.
And people keep looking up at me, and I'm stopping at stoplights, and people are saying, "Wow, nice suit." They kept saying, "Nice suit," and I kept wanting to say, "It's a tuxedo."
Was anybody mocking you? Were they like, "Yo"?
No, they weren't. They were appreciative. They
loved it.
liked how good I looked. But I got there, beautiful venue, loved it, really beautiful, a stunning couple, truly wonderful. And the one thing that was funny that I want to tell you about is that they had this great band, really strong band with a front man who very, Justin Timberlake vibes, kind of giving, that's the vibe he's going for. And he had all these great musicians behind him, but it was like his band, the John Thompson band, and he's John Thompson. I don't know. It's obviously not his name. But he had the best musician in the whole band was the guitarist. He had this guitarist that had long hair, straight hair, who was absolutely astounding at playing his instrument. They played Freebird, and he nailed the solo, the really long solo in Freebird that is like the hardest level on Guitar Hero.
Mm.
He was just incredible at soloing. I mean, shredding his guitar. During the speeches, he turned his earphones so that he and only he could hear his guitar, and just couldn't stop playing it silently. So this is a guy that cannot stop playing his instrument. He's the kid in band class in 4th grade that the teacher has to like send to the principal's office because he just keeps banging the cymbals or blowing on the French horn, whatever. Can't resist.
French horn.
And I was watching this guy. I was amazed by him. Now, the guy who led the band, in one moment, there was a moment where, I can't remember what song it was, the guitarist comes to the front of the stage and he's soloing. And the leader of the band also had a guitar. But throughout the night, he would take the guitar off, hand it to some tech aide, and just sing, or he would switch to an acoustic guitar. During this particular solo, the main guitarist is soloing his face off, and the leader of the band, comes up over him. They sort of like lean shoulders in, and the guy leading the band is now soloing too, going like,
Are they back to back?
like playing together, playing next to him. But dude, I play the guitar. The guy, the leader of the band, wasn't playing.
What was he doing?
Faking it.
Oh, interesting.
He was pretending to solo.
Did it appear that he actually was? To a person who didn't know, like me?
Maybe if you didn't know. But the reason I knew was this other guy that at the wedding that I'd sort of become friends with came up to me and he goes, "Dude, I don't think he's playing that." And I was like, I'm so glad someone said it because the way that he was moving his fingers were not in sync whatsoever with the only guitar sound that was coming out was from the main guitarist who was soloing.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was just trying to make it seem like he too had the licks, had the chops to keep up on some duet solo. And he's faking it. He's going all over the place and doing it. And I'm like, but then stopping, and then the other guy's still going. And you're like, well, nothing changed. We're only seeing this guy play the guitar, and this guy's faking it.
Dude, hate to say it.
I think that is a musician's stolen valor.
Yeah.
Isn't that there's got to be some kind of a code among musicians that you cannot take credit for a solo or that you don't fake play your instrument while you're up there. Don't you think?
So I don't even know how he would pull it off, though. So they were both playing, and somehow that gave the illusion that the other guy was playing as well, even though it was just the one guy.
We all knew that the other guy was playing.
Right.
And about halfway through his solo, the leader of the band starts feigning that he is soloing as well, and that the two of them are soloing together.
But did the sound not change of the?
And dude, there's like three.
Too much
there were
going
like
on.
two trumpet players,
Got
a
it.
saxophonist, a bass player, a keyboard player, drummer. There was enough
Right.
music that most people we're all just dancing, we're drinking, nobody's paying attention to the musicology of one member of the band, really.
Right.
And except me.
Right.
Because I'm an idiot. And then this other guy who confirmed it for me. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The wedding was lovely though, man. Have you ever been to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens?
I have, yeah. It's right next to the Brooklyn Museum, right? Park Slope,
Yes.
Grand Army Plaza.
Yes.
Yeah,
What a
beautiful.
beautiful place.
It's
And
beautiful.
during one of the speeches, the couple was referred to as a power couple.
Mm.
And I agreed. I agree with it. I think that they are. They're really awesome people. But it did make me wonder, what is a power couple? What does that mean?
This is good.
What's a power couple?
A power couple, in my
your
mind,
yeah.
is two people who are sort of like prominent and pervasive in their field, and they both have important jobs and make a lot of money, and they found love and are equals in that. They're still on an even playing field.
Got it. So it's career related.
To me, yes,
Interesting.
but I don't know.
I was trying to think of the other couples I know that I would consider to be power couples. And to me, a lot of it is social status is what comes to mind for me. Because I picked the couple and I'm like, well, a lot of people would probably say that they are a power couple. Well, what is it that makes them a power couple? And to me, I thought it was, I have a very dear friend couple who have totally kind of different friend groups in a way, but their respective networks, their respective friend groups are all kind of prominent social people who, make a good money and are active and around. They're just in the mix, they're in the scene. And to have combined their respective networks creates an even bigger kind of world at that they sit at the center of.
I think that works too, especially in like a, city elite sort of like a power couple. Like one of the members of the couple may not do anything, but she's on the board of the Met and she's on the board. She's on the board.
Right.
You know what I mean? She doesn't do anything except be on the board, which newsflash doesn't require doing much.
No.
Somebody pays. And
Right.
you're on the board. There's no, you don't got to do nothing.
I think some boards do.
You have to be approved. I'm pretty sure that the money is the one feature that require, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a quote, whatever. So, but to your point, like prominent people in society, agreed. I think that could be like a power couple situation.
Well, okay.
Like the daughter of some prominent guy who's like, you know what I mean? Like an aristocratic daughter marrying a rich guy is a power couple, even though the aristocratic part of it maybe has less money than they once did.
Right.
right? To your point.
I think that's exactly right, and I think you're touching on it perfectly, which is that think back to, when William of Orange and so it's like the son of the Duke of Denmark is arranged to marry the daughter of a king of England. And that marriage is created for power.
Mm-hmm.
It's created for power. We are allying our households. We are bonding the monarchy of another powerful country with the monarchy of our powerful country through marriage, and they will create an heir or a child who will be powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this combining of powerful families that creates the original power couples.
Totally. And the concept scales down too. Like a dear friend of mine, Muhammad John in Afghanistan, he was my trusty right-hand man over there. He was explaining how marriages get arranged and stuff there. That's like pretty old-fashioned like that. But for example, if I was your father and I met, or I knew of a friend with a daughter or something, the only thing that matters in me arranging you with her is that she comes from a good family. And I even asked him, I was like, okay, well, what if like she's very beautiful, but the family isn't that good? Does that like change the? He's like, no, the only thing that matters is the family. If she comes from a shit family, my father will not want me to marry her.
And shit meaning not wealthy.
Don't have a, he said these were the factors. Money, a lot of family members. I was like, okay, I guess they have a nice family. They're good Muslims. Those three things are like the important thing. And then you get set up and you have no choice. But if you want to get married again while you're still married, if you want to have a second wife, you can pick your second wife.
Oh.
Which is a big loophole.
Wow.
You can pick your second wife. But he also said that he only has one wife. But he said that if you intend to have multiple wives, you got to have money because they can't live in the same house.
Right.
They all fight with each other.
Right.
So, but they, some people get married 3 or 4 times over there at the same time.
Wow.
Which is pretty nuts.
I remember I dated a young lady once upon a time who, as we were breaking up, she told me that she thought we were good for each other because we were a power couple. And I remember thinking, I don't know why you would think that I have any power whatsoever. I have no power. I'm not a powerful guy. I'm a goof. I'm a goofball.
Yeah, but you could say that you could participate in a power couple because you're a prominent comedian. Like,
I would need a powerful lady. I would need big time lady.
But power couple can be relative also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I'm not suggesting that you are or are not in a power couple. I mean, I don't really use that term very often. But
I'd have to marry Margaret Thatcher or Hillary Clinton. Who do you think okay, shoot me straight.
Okay.
Shoot me straight.
Power
here.
couple. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a power
That's
couple.
a little PC right there, a little Pete Power Cup.
Is that what you were gonna ask me?
I was gonna ask
Shoot you straight.
who could I marry today if let's say hypothetically Sierra and I were not married. Who could I marry today that would give me the biggest badge of power couple? Who's my power
Here's
couplet?
the problem, bro. You need the proper person because you can get outpowered, in which case you're no longer a power couple.
What?
You're just a bitch, dude.
What? Really?
Yeah, if you married fucking, I don't know, whoever, like, who's a rich, powerful woman. I don't know.
Michelle Obama.
Ronda
Sure.
Rousey.
Yeah, if you marry Michelle Obama, you're not in a power couple.
Oh. Because it's
she's so much more powerful.
And everyone says that that's not a power couple. That's a powerful woman to whom the moray eel that is Francis Ellis
And dude, listen,
has latched his fangs.
Correct. You currently you could argue are a member of a power couple.
Yeah.
I know that your wife is transitioning careers, but there's nothing to suggest that you guys can't retain your power couple status because she was a prominent leader of a big team in a big company, and
Yeah, a lot of friends.
If she wants to do that again, she can.
She's got a lot of friends.
Therefore, you could argue that you guys were and are a power couple because you are titans in your respective industries, and therefore you are a power couple.
I think you guys are a power couple.
I'm okay with that.
I think you guys are more. You know why?
I accept that.
Because you guys are good looking, and you're always, you present well together.
Thank you.
You guys are a brand. You are at events and cool things, and then you have very different careers too. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're not vertically integrated, you're horizontally integrated. I don't know if that's, I never remember that.
Well, keep riding with the pod, everybody, please, so I can maintain my power couple status.
Yeah, power couple it up.
It's funny. I have the same friend who makes fun of me, who likes to bust my balls in like a fatherly way, with the one who does the not good looking, that guy, Lebanese guy who fucks with me. He likes to say that Hillary's out of my league. He goes, at one point she's going to figure it out.
Oh God, that's not very nice.
I know, he's just busting my balls. It's pretty funny. She's gonna find out someday. I didn't tell her. I didn't say anything. She's gonna find out.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Mm.
Pretty funny. Dude, okay. So I guess actually that's probably a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Guys, this Thursday, our last episode in this format. But we're looking onto the future, looking forward to the future of Oops the Podcast. In the meantime, Francis, what do you got coming up?
Oh yeah. Let's see here. You know, I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona in September. That's September 19th weekend, September 20th, something like that. Then on to Toronto and all these other places, Providence and Boston and all kinds of fun. Oh, and we're going to be doing our New York City first live Barstool stand-up show, calling that Dollar Slices, which is going to be awesome at Chelsea Music Hall. That's on July 12th. You can get tickets for that on the Barstool website. You'll find it. I'll be advertising for that. So come out, guys. And Julia, what about you?
I'm at Vulcan Gas Company, Austin, Texas, 2 shows. Would love to sell both of those out. Come on down, guys. It should be a good time. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came to my shows down south, Raleigh, Atlanta, Nashville, all, electric turnouts, really, really fun. And then in the fall, I'm in Detroit, Seattle, Jacksonville, St. Pete, Florida. I'm trying to get Toronto in the books too. A few other cities, notjulio.com for all the updates. See you there.
Facts with Ryan? Where are
With
they
a couple.
flying? Where are they flying?
So
Sorry,
for
Facts with Ryan.
benders, new research shows that it takes at least 2 weeks for the brain to start returning to normal after a bender, which
gosh.
on average is between 1 and 7 days.
Oh,
So let's say 3 to 4 days, so about a week.
okay. Fortunately, I'm not doing that very often, and
No,
if at
yeah.
all.
That's a
Yeah.
long time.
6-hour bender is all I need to derail me.
And then lava. Falling into lava would be a terrible fate. This is there's tons of definitions you can find online, but I find that the most entertaining ones are from Quora, where the people give
Yeah.
their, so this is that format. Falling into lava would be a terrible fate. If you didn't fall in too fast, you would float, so you wouldn't sink in and be consumed instantly, or within 3 seconds. Your clothing and hair would catch on fire almost immediately. You'd probably try to swim or push yourself out of it, only to have your hands and feet start burning. You would scream and then inhale hot air, which would scorch you from the inside out. Under those circumstances, death could not come soon enough.
Yeah.
And then if you did fall in fast, if you did like a pencil dive in, you'd be killed on impact and would explode.
Wow. Okay, so then that to me
Jesus.
means that if you fall into lava, you should dive down. You should try to go under. You should go under. You think that's fair to say?
Unless someone's if they're throwing a rope out and you're trying to catch it, if you know you're gonna die, you should.
Yeah, but if
Stiffen
that's
up and
happening,
pencil.
then you stay as with your arms out and you're trying to stay out as thin as possible on the top, as much surface area, because you don't want any of that to go under. Right?
What do you mean? You want to
Well,
survive?
Yeah. You need to stay on as on top of the water as you possibly
Yeah.
can.
So if you're falling in from a large,
If you're falling into you're fucked.
yeah,
If you're hurtling towards the lava, you are going to die. You're going
but
to
if you
explode.
somehow get placed into it, you have.
If
a few
you are
seconds.
laid gently down on top of the lava somehow. You should do everything you can not to move.
Yeah.
You must maintain as steady and as stiff of a position in the hopes that the current will drift you to the edge, and then you can gently roll out of it.
So you have like 80 seconds at most under the most ideal circumstances, but I don't see how you can get placed. I think of like Michelin star restaurants where they have the little things for garnishes. How they place. That's the only way I could imagine someone getting placed soft enough to not.
Well, sometimes the lava
explode.
slowly moves in a direction, and like if it
It
were
can.
to slowly engulf you.
If you saw, oh, look, it's pushing me towards that ladder over there.
I don't think I'd be relaxed.
No, but you'd have to be, though. That's the most important moment.
All right, so what do you say? You're running away from lava that's coming toward you, and you're running away from the lava, and you end up on like a short cliff, and beneath you is sharks. Do you dive into the lava or do you dive into the water with the sharks?
Oh, that's a tough one, pal.
I think, dude,
I think
sadly,
I'm going sharks.
you got to go sharks because at least there's a chance of some variable saving you. Whereas with the lava, you're fucked no matter what. If you touch the lava, you could potentially get away from the sharks.
I'd also rather be ripped to pieces by sharks than engulfed in flame. I've burned myself on a hot pan before, and you scream. And that's a tiny little part of your body from nothing as bad as lava.
But it's quick and certain. I saw a video last week. Some guy in Russia was swimming. He's either 23 or 25, and he got attacked by a shark. And we talked about this on, like, I think last week, drowning and getting eaten alive. That's brutal. I'd rather just explode.
Yeah, but you better hope that lava's deep enough then for you to just really dive straight in. Dive. You got to dive in there.
Yeah. I would take that risk. The shark's brutal. The video's brutal.
He dies?
Yeah, and I wasn't searching for it. It's like the way we talked about how Twitter has been lately.
Yeah.
You open up the app and something you never followed is just someone getting murdered.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Brutal.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah.
that's it.
Oops, Pod. Appreciate you all. We'll see you guys on Thursday for the last episode with Francis.